Good day, viewers. Hi, I'm attorney Reginald Mason with the law offices of Mason & Associates. Welcome to this episode of Upfront and Close, where legal knowledge is power. Today, I'm going to be covering the area of real estate law, specifically the topics of deal structure, investment considerations, management, and exit strategy. First, when considering investing in real estate, you always want to consider what type of investment vehicle you're going to use. Now, if you are buying it as an individual, you still want to consider whether to use an LLC, an LLP, or maybe even a trust. The reason for that is that the liability that you have inherent when you purchase real estate can be segregated and condensed and consolidated to that particular entity that owns the real estate. For instance, if someone slips and falls on the property or someone is bitten by a dog, you can segregate and divorce your personal liability and have the entity liable in and of itself for those types of injuries. So now, moving on, investment considerations. When considering investing in real estate, you have to understand real estate is a separate asset class in the investment arena. And so you have to understand what are its measurements, its tools, its criteria. And those criteria that you want to consider are things that are called cap rate, return on investment. Other issues that come into play in terms of affecting your return is how much deferred maintenance does the real estate need or will have? Additionally, from a tax advantage standpoint, will there be sufficient amount of depreciation in terms of offsetting income that comes in and have you reduce the actual capital gain tax or ordinary income tax that can be associated with real estate? So keep those things in mind because they're very important. The additional item, the next item, certainly is management. Now you have to consider, are you going to use a professional management company to manage the real estate? Ideally, if it's 10 units or up or commercial property, you typically want to use a professional management company. Or if you are going to be involved in the day-to-day activity and not be a passive investor, then certainly you can manage the property, but I would recommend that you take a real estate management course. Moving on to the last topic of this episode, your exit strategy. Your exit strategy is based upon what it is you are trying to achieve when you bought the real estate. Your first issue could have been, I want income. But in terms of, we're at the phase now where you're going to get out of the deal. You're going to exit the transaction. Well, one of the things you look at is if your exit strategy is to be implemented in 5 years, 3 years, or 10 years. So the criteria that you will look at is how much has the property appreciated? Because that's going to tell you, has it been worthwhile investing in this particular property? The other thing that you want to look at is cash flow. Can you sell the building for more now because you've increased the cash flow over the life of the investment? Those are going to be things that investors or other purchasers who may consider buying your investment property look at. And so you must know what that looks like and typically try to project that in a document that's called a pro forma using real actual numbers. That concludes our episode for Upfront and Close, covering real estate law investment basics. Thank you. And if you have any questions, call our office 877-288-6230, 877-288-6230. Thank you. God bless.